I started rolling with this good brother, uncle of mine, I could say. He's an older, I remember this man, Francisco Herrera, when I was a baby, walking around the Mission District, and he's walking around with his guitar, serenading people, and doing beautiful music. So this is a man that's not just, you know, someone trying to run for being a supervisor in my eyes. He's a man of the people, and he's put his life on the front line. He's been with all of us, whether it be the Homeless Coalition, and we was a part of the 1, 2, 3 Replace AID movement. Amy White, Francisco Herrera, and Stewart. And he's running for district supervisor, District 11 in the Excelsior. So can y'all make some noise for Francisco Herrera?
My little security thing made me feel like I just got out of jail. La 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 la. We are the power. Vamos. La 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 la. Hey ayo. La 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 la. Hey ayo. La 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 la. We are the power. La. Hey, oh, we are the power. One more time. La 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 la, hey ayo, ay la la, hey ayo, ay la la. We are the power. En español decimos un clavo saca otro clavo. In Spanish we say one nail knocks out another nail. Before I say anything else about that, I want to introduce you to the power that keeps me going, which is my wife, Cristina Herrera. And I want to, apart from just introducing my wife and our family, is because our action is about love, the power of love. And Gandhi said a very important thing. First step of nonviolence is non-collaboration with evil. You know what? We've been collaborating for far too long. We have a board of supervisors that loves to lament about how the rich did this and the rich did that. But un clavo saca otro clavo. Can you say that with me? Spanish 101. Un clavo saca otro clavo. We will lose this town if we don't organize as a people, as a community. I'll give you a small example. This chapel here used to be the theater of a wonderful place called New College. One of our former presidents, Peter Gable, was right over there. With Lisa Dates, parents of Sam Gable, was Professor Gable. You saw him on the stage here with my son, all of a sudden my hands and all the talent of OSK, Old Soul Collective. Well, there was a thing called the WASP, not White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. It's a group of peer professors that are supposed to guide and accredit and support each other. Well, this group was part of the shock troops of gentrification. They say we can't have an institution here that is thinking and is helping people think. So they did what they always do, they bullied New College as they bullied out a lot of smaller colleges. They don't bully big universities like USF or the folks that are really big, but they do bully the smaller organizations that are pushing as well independent thinking, liberal arts, these kinds of things. And I have to say bully because that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a group of folks, our allies actually, right? Many of this board of soups, many administrative roles, who are saying the market is the God. The market forces, right? Oh, it's the market. You're in capitalism. Is there really a capitalist in this room? I mean, who has the capital to make capital here? I mean, raise your hands if you have to work to make a living. Welcome, working class. We're not in the club. We're not in the capitalist club. 99.9% of the United States is not in the capitalist club. We're not capitalists. But we're led to think that we're just supposed to roll over and die, or, as I like to say, we're left to decide how many inches we have to bend over. No, 5. No, I'm more progressive. We only have to bend over 3 inches. You know, it's like, that's what progressive or left or all of, that's what it's amounted to here. How many inches we have to bend over because the market forces are upon us. Well, it is true that the economy now is to our west, which is the Pacific. So to the west, if I throw a rock to the west, I'll hit someone in Japan, China, Russia. That's our west, is what people call the east. ¿Verdad? But it's our west, and it's the market that's going on. So here's the trick of the pimp and the pimp ideology. It says like this: we're the big dogs, and we have to combat Russia and China and the big countries, and we're the big dogs. So we're gonna protect you, and you better just pay attention. So we'll put this toilet paper policy, I mean the TPP, what I like to call what I like to call the trans, T-R-A-N-Z, Pacific policy, which puts us all in a trance. And if Cochabamba, Bolivia ever dares to say this is our water and we're going to sue you or we're going to stop you from destroying our water, well, we've got our 650 private lawyers who formed this toilet paper policy who are going to sue Bolivia for the billions we would have made had we been allowed to steal the water from Bolivia. Or if the city of Detroit or the city of San Francisco dares to say the land belongs to the people, well, we will sue you for the money we would have made if we had been allowed to legally rip you off and tell you we're ripping you off because we have to compete with China and Russia. You guys, you little people don't understand this stuff, but we have to do it, right? Enough of world economic policy. Let's talk about world city politics. And so we're left in our districts, in my district, District 11, we're left with these leaders who tell us, it's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? You know, well, people get old and they're gonna sell their houses to people that pay $1 million for a house that's really only worth $200,000. Well, yeah, if we sit down and let it happen, of course it's gonna happen. But that's why citizens across the United States and across the globe are doing what yours truly decided to do. And let's get this show on the road. Let's get our people power back. And so that's why for District 11, it's not just about saying, I will defend District 11. Yeah, I want to clean the streets in District 11 and put the speed bumps where the neighbors want to put them up. I want to work against the thieves, the robbery that's happening in some of the neighborhoods. But you know what I learned working with kids in jail and working with the victims of the pimp policies? That when you have violence and crime in the periphery, it's because you have violence and crime in the center. You don't know how many kids I've talked with and worked with and helped hide, actually, because they were selling drugs, you know, for whom? For an officer with a desk job. Not even for a street beat cop. Right? When there's crime and violence in the periphery, there's crime and violence in the center. And a Honduran kid right here, YGC, told me one time, there we were doing a little prayer group and singing Kumbaya with the kids, and he's going, you guys are so ignorant. What am I copying, he said to me, as I delivered $10,000 worth of cocaine. I'm getting it from the bosses in downtown. I'm gonna make a house for my mother. You can pray for me all you want, but I'm gonna do what they're doing because they're getting money, and you guys are just coming to pray with me. See, the kids know who supplies them. And now, talk about supply and demand. We're being supplied with demand, right? We're being supplied. They're saying, we're gonna bring 46,000 new jobs. Yeah, for 46,000 people that they're bringing from outside. You know what that's called? Union busting. That's what it's called. It's an old trick. You bring unorganized people in to kick out organized folks. You make everyone a disposable diaper. That's what since I used to clean streets, that's how I paid for my high school books. I was a parking lot cleaning boy. And so we become disposable. You're a retiree, and they start attacking pensions. You're a young student, and they put on these curfew laws. You're disposable. 130,000 people kicked out of San Francisco in the last 5 years. Where's the progress in that? So, un clavo saca otro clavo. One nail knocks out another nail. Can you say un clavo saca otro clavo? What that means is that we can only win if we plan, folks. What is the San Francisco that you want to see? What is the District 11 that you want to see? Let's see, name your district at the same time, everybody. Where do you live? Excellent. What is the district that you want to see? That is the question. ¿Qué es el San Francisco que quiero ver? Spanish 1 or 2, say it. ¿Qué es el San Francisco que quiero ver? Órale. The Spanish say ole, the Chicanos say órale. Órale. Entonces, so that's the focus of our campaign, folks. Following very closely with our sister Jill Stein and the Green New Deal. We have to make a Green New Deal. Sing it with me. La 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 la. Fuerte. La 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 la. La 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 la. One more time. La 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 la. Hey I-O. La la la. Hey I-O. La la la. We are the power. Eso. So we are that power. We are that Green New Deal. What does that mean for housing? It means we strategize outside of the box or the bag or whatever you want to call it. We say what land trusts exist that can help us to buy collectively How do we build our cooperatives? We say, how do we build with small site acquisitions? How do we use this rule of the right to first refusal? You're a renter, they're going to sell your building. You get the right to choose, do I want to buy it or not? How do we bring the money together? We build the bank of the city of San Francisco. These are not solutions. They're not solutions that are easy to promise because you can't do it in 6 months or 2 years. You can do parts of it, but that's why the trick is planning. Planning together. We have had history of planning. 15 years ago, we had the People's Plan, the People's Budget, El Plan Popular. There's projects that already exist that we have to build on, but we have to say the market is not a god. That house is not worth $1 million. And we gotta come together and force the city to give the money for our education programs, for working, for the master plan in education where our kids are treated as intellectuals, as intelligent human beings. We have to protect our pensions. That's a promise. That's a promise. You're gonna work, you're gonna produce this wealth, and you're gonna produce this work. Therefore, when you retire, part of your payment that you already worked for is gonna be spread out in this thing called a pension. So anyone who proposes any kind of attack on pensions is fraudulent. It's a fraud. So people come first. People come first, not the market. When we don't participate, then instead of the invisible hand, we get the sleight of hand, right? How many have seen that funny little sleight of hand? Bankers and very wealthy people who stole the wealth that are renting out, buying out buildings and keeping them empty so they can write it off as a tax write-off. How does that put people first? Well, we have 7,000 people on the streets, 70% of whom had a place to live. Luis Góngora, who rest in peace, rest in music, was killed. He had just been evicted from his house. Heriberto Benitez, who was killed a year ago, October 15th, in front of the public library, he had a house, he had a job, he lost his house, he lost his job, he had some kind of a mental breakdown, and the police killed him.
Jessica Williams.
Yeah, Esther Williams. Jessica Williams, and the list goes on. Young people, folks with mental health problems that are trying to deal with them. And instead of dealing with them, we either kill them or want to shove them under the rug. That's not putting people first. So folks, this campaign is about working. Is about continuing to work. It's about building the city and the district that we want. Affordable housing, for real affordable housing, not for people who are making $170,000 and up. So this proposition, oh no you don't. Vote no on O. Oh no you don't. It's a trick. It's nothing but a trick. These propositions, this proposition is nothing but a trick. But you know what is not a trick? Is the propositions to take more power from the mayor's office. Can't you believe this? A city charter written by Robert Barons for Robert Barons. It's the year 2016 now, folks. It's time to change and give the power to the supervisors and to the people and control the SFMTA, right? And control who gets the not nominations, who gets put in these commissions, right? Not through a little cronyism, but we can really make that change. This takes planning, folks. And this is what we're planning. To win the supervisor role in District 11, November 8th. Can you join me on that? Because I'll tell you the way the pimp mentality goes. You let a community go to blight, and then you bring the investor, the predator, to clean it up. Well, I'm saying let's clean it up for our people now. Let's clean it up now when we still have a working class in San Francisco. Can we do that? Can you join me in phone calling? Only one person, too. Can you join me in phone calling? Can you join me in walking the streets? Can you join me in telling your neighbors and friends? That's what we have to do. And then we have to get ready to know the names, address, and phone numbers of all our commissioners, starting with the what? The Planning Commission. Right? The Planning Commission, folks, this is what we have to start to block that pipeline of luxury apartments. You notice they call them luxury condos. There's really kind of a phallic symbol of dealing with condoms. Not very safe sex. They're not luxury condos. They're just apartments for people who don't live here and who are going to use them as their little vacation homes. So you have to organize. Stop the building for the rich who don't live here, and let's start building for the working class who does live here. Let's make community work for you and I, and let it be working for the drivers, the smooth operators as well, because they're put under pressure. Transit first! Transit first, that's right. When all of this, education, wonderful project, Excelsior Science Project, BC's del Barrio, del Pueblo, on Excelsior Street, right? Our wonderful schools, our wonderful communities of working people. Let this be an example. Here was a wonderful school, New College. Right here was a wonderful school. And they knocked it out for what? For gentrification. I still haven't seen the gentries, but we don't have a school. We have a wonderful nightclub here. It's beautiful. The chapel used to be previously was a chapel for a mortuary. But what we have to do is put people first, people first, people first. Can we do that? Yeah. All right. My name is Francisco Herrera. I'm running for District 11 Supervisor. Tell your friends. Let's sing it together. La 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 la. We are the power. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. We are the power. La 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 la. Hey, ho, la 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 la. La